Hello everyone, my name is Maria Svyatenko. In this video, I will be packing my backpack together with you. I've already packed it once, organized everything, and realized that this is exactly the set of things I'll be taking on my next trip. And here in this video, I'll be sharing 2 years of experience from around the world, hitchhiking, and free-spirited travels. So stay tuned if you're interested. And the first thing we'll start with is my main backpack. It's huge, about 60. Hold on. Oh my gosh, this is intense. It's about 65 liters, I think. And all my things are in here. And by the way, a little clarification. I'm all for minimalism. I believe that, not to carry too many things with you, just take only what you really need. And by the way, as Anton Krotov says, you'll actually come up with your ideal list of things during the trip itself. You'll throw out what you didn't need, buy some things you realize you need, and sometimes people will give you things, and so on. So this kind of the ideal packing of your backpack will actually take shape directly during your journey. So first, I'm going with this huge, well, more like medium-sized backpack. And secondly, I'll also have a carry-on bag since I'm flying to another city. So I'll have this kind of carry-on bag. It's usually a small sort of city-style backpack. And my daughter's backpack. That's a very important item. In addition to the stroller, of course. And naturally, a regular waist bag for documents and all that stuff. Well then, let's get started. Let's see what I've packed inside. By the way, I traveled for 2 years without a child, but now I'm traveling with a child. So honestly, this small backpack is no longer enough for me because, well, there's the child's food, the child's diapers, all these toys. You really need a separate suitcase just for that, plus the stroller, though you can try to stuff everything in there too. And by the way, regarding the rules for carrying children's items, absolutely all children's things you take with you on the plane are not counted as carry-on or checked baggage. So basically, you could take your whole room with you and it would all go for free without any extra charges like per kilogram or anything like that. Of course, you shouldn't abuse this and think you can just take everything with you and travel with all your belongings. It's better, of course, to only take what's necessary because, well, you have to carry all of it and I'm a woman after all. It's all heavy for me, Plus, there's also a child weighing 15 kilograms in my arms, so that's how it is. Alright, let's unpack the suitcase. I'll show you what I brought with me. My hat is empty. There's nothing in it. I really like this backpack because oh my gosh. It is exceptionally lightweight, primarily because all of these fasteners and connecting rivets are much narrower, so it weighs considerably less, and it's also significantly smaller in its overall volume. These things themselves take up less space, but the back support here is really good, which truly helps me carry absolutely everything, not just on my precious, delicate shoulders, and certainly not on my aching back, but instead, very comfortably and securely, on my strong waist, and also on my sturdy hips, so that all of the significant weight is effectively taken completely off my vulnerable back. And basically, it's really great when you have the option to shift all the weight onto your pelvis and walk almost as if you're not carrying anything. It's very convenient, so if you are the same kind of outdoorsy person, well, you should understand me, right? Or if you just want to start traveling, I don't know, maybe you want to go hiking in the mountains and so on, then get yourself a lightweight backpack with a frame like this, and it will be more than enough for you. So, and one more little life hack. As an avid traveler, I do this. All my things, absolutely everything. I always meticulously pack them in these convenient, reusable bags, specifically designed for fresh vegetables, ripe fruits, and various other similar items. They genuinely cost very little, a truly negligible amount. But at the very same time, it's exceptionally convenient and wonderfully efficient to pack all these essential things in this particular way. And off we enthusiastically go on our journey. Some things, of course, I simply just stuff in haphazardly when I completely run out of available space. Right now, available space is really, truly critical and extremely precious for me, primarily because my beloved daughter's numerous belongings and essential items take up the valuable space I would have otherwise used for a sturdy tent or other crucial camping gear, like, for instance, a warm and comfortable sleeping bag. Although, for example, we went to Crimea with her this summer, I took a sleeping bag with me, but in the end I just threw it away somewhere along the way. Well, but why not? So, everything is absolutely packed up. These are all my things, her things. All of this, every single item, is carefully packed and prepared for a truly special occasion. This is precisely how I managed to fit absolutely everything in here so perfectly. Basically, everything is in bags like these. Everything is in bags. All of this. If you're interested in how I actually pack, in general, well, the things themselves, yes, specifically, so that they take up less space. Of course, you can't reduce the weight, but that's a whole separate set of life hacks. But to reduce the volume, there are certain ways to roll up your clothes, and so you really have to learn how to do this, to be honest. But I was lucky. I know how to fold clothes because I worked for 2 years as a sales assistant in a store, so naturally I can fold clothes in different ways so that they take up the least amount of space. By the way, when I was either in Israel or somewhere else, a very experienced and seasoned traveler once told me that my rather large backpack was packed in such an incredibly efficient and organized way that even he, with all his extensive travel knowledge, couldn't pack his own backpack so exceptionally well and so remarkably neatly. Well, Dobroslav, hello. So, I think that's probably a compliment, but I'm not sure. And probably the single most critically important mistake, seriously, is to absolutely never, under any circumstances whatsoever, check in your valuable and sensitive electronic devices, any electronics at all, such as your essential mobile phones, portable laptops, delicate tablets, or even crucial power banks. Tablets, laptops, cameras. Just never check them in, ever. But to protect your electronics, if you do have to check them in, I'm about to check mine in because I just can't carry all this on my shoulders myself. I'll have 2 days of flights, transfers, and so on. And all of this with the child in my arms? It's going to be really hard, so that's why I'm taking this risk and checking my main electronics into the luggage. But it's better not to do this. If you do, always use these soft, regular bags. They're usually made of foam. Be sure to use them and really pack your things in the backpack with other items. So there won't be any impacts because no one handles your valuable belongings with the utmost care and attention during the process of loading everything onto the plane and back. Everything gets tossed around, we all know that. Well, sometimes things go missing from our backpacks, but that's really our own fault, our fault as passengers. For example, when I was in Mexico, I had something stolen. A watch. My watch and some money were stolen from the backpack I checked in. But I did not close my backpack properly myself, and even, by the way, those elastic covers, like those protective suitcase covers, they absolutely will not protect the integrity of your valuable belongings at all, because it is all very, very easy to open, even if your suitcase has a secure lock. Hello there. Well, it's all open just like that in no time. If you really want, just like me, to check in some valuable items, or if you simply don't want anyone rummaging through your bags, unless it's, not the police, but let's say airport security staff when they're doing their checks themselves. By the way, if you're flying to Israel or similar countries, even if your belongings are super duper packed, wrapped, and rewrapped, they'll still open them and look inside. I even had a situation like that myself. Come back. Go ahead. I even had a situation like that myself. A girl I was flying to Israel with. We also got our backpacks and suitcases back after arriving in Israel. She opens her suitcase to check if everything is in place, if everything is okay. And her things were packed much, much better than she had packed them herself. So, learn to pack your things neatly. If you are flying to certain countries, such as, for example, Israel, then they'll still get into your stuff anyway. But to prevent that, to somehow protect the integrity of your belongings, people at airports, you might notice and see a kind of mat. It looks like plastic wrap. I don't have any other words for it. But if you don't want to spend money on that, here's a little life hack. Pack everything at home right away and tape it up with duct tape. Just regular tape. Wrap all the locks, yes, absolutely. Just go completely around your entire suitcase several times from all sides, so that it's simply and utterly impossible to get inside, even if they break the locks. Yes, although that happens too. There are cases when they just break everything open. If you truly want to keep your valuable things safe, then tape is absolutely your best friend. Even on these particular items right here, you can see its effectiveness. Even on these straps, basically, there are pockets right here. And I even still have this tape left. I don't even know how long it's been here. It's been hanging on since Crimea. I've flown several times with it already, and now it's all worn out, basically. That's also a very practical method because I tend to stuff all sorts of little miscellaneous things in here, things that aren't really critically important in the grand scheme of things, but still, I absolutely don't want anyone to not so much actively get in there, but perhaps the zipper could accidentally open, something valuable could potentially fall out, and so on and so forth. So it's definitely much better to meticulously tape everything up, really truly yes, and consistently use proper, strong adhesive tape for that purpose, not this flimsy stuff, like for example thin plastic wrap and so on, which simply won't do the job effectively. And here are my blue clothes. Spring clothes. I pack them into little bundles like this. This is my autumn spring jacket. It comes down to my knees, it's big, really bulky. So I ended up with a bundle like this. If you are truly interested in knowing precisely how to efficiently pack your belongings compactly and neatly, just write about it in the comments section below, and I will most certainly and happily tell you all the details. And I'll just show you directly how it's all done. So that's what I have in my main backpack. It's now completely ready. These are my spring clothes and my daughter's spring clothes. Everything is packed as tightly as possible too. Spring, autumn, summer clothes. Then our shared underwear. And that's it. And then comes her clothes. First bag, second bag, third bag. All of this is my daughter's clothes. Oh, girls will be girls. That's just what it's called. And one little bag of mom's clothes. By the way, that's what you call minimalism. Look, if I were flying alone, this is what I would take. That's minimalism, by the way, yes. Just this little bag with my main clothes and this little bag, well, actually my jacket, because I need it since I'm flying out in winter. And documents and so on. I'll open it up and show you what's inside in a moment. That's all. So, if you take a child, of course, a lot more things get added right away. So, children are the flowers of our lives. Go over there. Alright, go ahead. Oh, and one more thing. That's everything. Mommy and daughters. Go on, go. Okay. And now let's see what I'm actually taking with me. In my carry-on. The bag is incredibly convenient, and it features a very durable hard shell. And since I have a daughter, naturally, I take her food with me. A thermos with water, with hot water. A bottle, I'm just using this as an example right now. Definitely, if you're traveling with kids, make sure to bring some entertainment for them, because nobody likes... There were loud, screaming, and constantly running children yelling at the top of their lungs, who were energetically dashing back and forth all over the confined cabin space, actively bothering every single other person present. So bring things to keep them entertained. In my case, it's going to be almost 6 hours, a 6-hour flight, so I bring, as I call them, all sorts of stickers, books, and so on, to the maximum extent possible, to keep the child entertained. Then diapers, a second set of clothes for the child, because she's still quite little. And just in case, so she has something to change into if needed, like a dress, tights, socks, a towel, because she's still in diapers, so I can wash her, wipe her, and so on. So basically just her usual things. And my own things too, since it's winter now, just in case, warm socks, thin socks, and also a warm sweater for the child. Documents, of course, are packed as well. And here's another little life hack for those who travel a lot and want to make their trips as comfortable as possible, and really, just everywhere. Take bags like this with you, just a regular fabric bag, like a market tote, you know, a simple cloth bag. Right now, I have this soft one, and I also got one at fixed price that really holds its shape, which is also convenient. You can even just toss your documents in there after check-in, so you don't have to pile everything up at the counter and can free up some space. You just throw everything in there and go. By the way, I find these tote bags really convenient too, because I keep diapers in several different places, honestly. And sometimes I toss in the diapers, water, a bottle just like that quickly. I throw everything together into one bag all at once. And it's really convenient, especially if that bag is stored somewhere up high. If it's put away up high, then here I have the essentials. Water, food, diapers, towels, a change of clothes, so it's very convenient. This is my main bag, and I keep it stored away. Here's another little life hack. This is the most basic thing, but for some reason hardly anyone uses it. It's just regular trash bags. Guys, why is that? Why does no one carry trash bags with them? It's almost quite funny, but it's just so incredibly simple. Well, for example, I only truly started carrying them myself when I had a small child, you see. You can put absolutely any kind of trash in there. I just rolled up 5 bags into this little bundle right here. It doesn't take up any space, but still. Our spot stays neat, tidy, and looks really nice. Especially, you know, after you've eaten and everything is just piled up on top of each other. The stewards come by once and clean up, but then if you haven't finished something, it all just sits there. Just take the bag away, and that's it. Then later you can throw it out or take it with you on the plane. You can throw it out in the bathroom or when you're leaving the airport. For example, if I need to get rid of used diapers, it's a really good life hack. I just toss everything into a trash bag, throw it all in there and go, especially if my child wakes up. Where would I be without him? I went to my child.